What's going on, guys? Welcome to J Powell Music, and today I'm doing an album review here of Linkin Park's most recent album that they just dropped tonight, technically, From Zero. From Zero, I managed to listen to the entire thing. So got some critiques here on this guy. So obviously I did some videos prior on the single. He did the first single at least. They released a couple of singles here. As far as our overall in the project, it's not. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good album. It's not a terrible album. I know there's a lot of controversy around the singer. Obviously, this person is in Chester, but she does a really good job. I believe her first name is Emily. But she does a really good job. She's singing her behind off on this album. Uh, Mike Shinoda, he's doing his thing, but he's doing his thing, but I think it's a little, not to be mean, it's slightly a watered down version of it. And you'll see what I mean as I'm kind of go through this review. So from the beginning, from zero, it's just like a random, I don't know, random like a harmonization of oohs and ahs, and then you hear some like a voice memo or whatever, so like a from zero, like she asks like from zero the lead singer, and then it goes into the emptiness machine, which is arguably their best song on the album. It's just a really strong single that they released. Really nice sound to it. My only real critique of the emptiness machine is Mike Shinoda. Actually, he tries something not necessarily different, because I know he's tried some different things, after. Everyone tried some different things after Meteora, then Mints to Midnight and whatnot. Um, Doing a lot more singing and whatnot versus like his rapping, that I'm more accustomed to him doing from Meteora, Hybrid Theory, Reanimation, etc. So he's doing a lot of kind of talk singing, as Emily is doing, the singing that's, she's doing some really difficult, singing and like rock singing runs and whatnot. So, she's doing her thing. Emptiness Machine, I would definitely say, is arguably one of the best songs on the album. There's a few that seem disjointed though. Cut the Bridge definitely is one. Kind of incorporates some Offspring type, rhythms, which, I don't know, I'm not really super akin to. It just seems kind of off. And then also, Mark Shinoda starts it, and it almost seems like he's singing off key. His vocal tone is really off from the rhythm of the song, so I'm just not really a fan of it. As you guys see here, this is from YouTube Music, 57,000 plays. So a lot of people, I think, they just kind of skip it to go to the other songs. Right after it, Heavy as the Crown, 10 million plays, based on this guy. So going into Heavy as the Crown, that was one of their other singles that they released. I think it's a solid song for the most part. I enjoy the chorus of the song more than anything. There is really a pocket that the vocalist locks into, which is good. I appreciate it. Over Each Other, it's kind of a cliche-ish thing. I wouldn't say take it out of the album, but it's definitely not one of the, it sounds fine, but I feel like as a Linkin Park, it's from zero, but the band's still called Linkin Park, right? So it sounds okay. It sounds okay, but definitely one. I'll try some other songs here. Casualty. It's not bad. It's not bad. Another one that I could skip personally. When it comes to my favorite, well, let me keep going actually. So when it comes to Overflow, that one is pretty good. There during the last few tracks of the album, they kind of return. Oh, I hate saying return to form, but they kind of get a little bit within an interesting pocket between the new vocalist and the band. They kind of lock in a little bit when it comes to the flow of the song, the melody that she's creating. I think they start to vibe a lot better during the last three songs of the album specifically. Two Faced, I think, is a really solid song. Stained is pretty good. The I Gave You Everything I Have, which is the IGYEIH. That's actually my favorite song on the album. It is very much has that Linkin Park uh, song structure, right? So starting off with rapping, you have the great chorus or whatnot, and then you have a breakdown, build up, etc. But I gave you everything I have as a really solid song. There's some really good melodic stuff that she's doing as well. Everything complements everything. I think that's one of the biggest things of the song that I really appreciated. For Hybrid Theory, there's so many. I have to go back to Hybrid Theory because Hybrid Theory is Hybrid Theory, right? So many songs they have such great pockets, and everything complements each other. Mike Shinoda's raps and pocket that he's in complements the vocalist, and the rhythm guitar complements the drums and complements everything else. So that's one of the funnest things of Linkin Park. They just have a really good rock pocket that they fit in, that they hit really hard, which I have always appreciated from them. So I give you everything I have. Definitely is reminiscent to that. The last song on the album, Good Things Go, which is good. It's a better written song, I would say, compared to some of the other ones, like Cut the Bridge and, even Over Each Other, Casualty. Good Things Go is definitely, to me, it's a better written song, much, much more than some of those other ones. It's a solid song. It's a solid song. Yeah, I think when it comes to the things that I really enjoyed on this, I do think there are some pockets that the vocalist Emily, I believe, again, sorry, that she does really well when it comes to some of the melodic stuff. And I feel like they kind of get a little more comfortable working with each other around the end of the album. The last 3-4 songs seems like they really start to kind of get used to them working. I'm wondering how many songs they went through and recorded that they threw out as they were working on this album, right? That's kind of my thing that I'm always curious about. How much time and songs did you guys cut through to get to these songs that we have here on the album? Or was it one of those things where Mike Shinoda just said, hey, I got a song here, I got a song here, and then, Emily writes to it, and that's that? How was the collaboration on this? And I'm sure there's answers to this as far as for when it comes to behind the scenes and whatnot. But as far as for how the album feels, it seems like they get really comfortable doing those last 4 songs. I feel like they're kind of start getting a flow, a vibe during those songs. I think to me the downside for the album, sometimes it just, I feel like another one of the big things for Linkin Park is that when it comes to Mike Shinoda's performances, and then for the singer, obviously, Chester, I'll refer to Chester here, you really believed in what they were saying, even though what they were saying might have been slightly dramatic, right? Or overly exaggerated. You really believed in what they were saying and how they were doing their performance. I feel like some of this seems a little, shallow. It feels a little shallow. It feels a little hollow, specifically talking about Mike Shinoda's performance. I just feel like some of the lyrics kind of just go over your head, and not in a way as far as it being really complex and I just not catching it. More just I kind of don't care. It's not really sticking as something that I remember. I still remember lyrics from Hybrid Theory, that his writing was just really, it was really just top tier at that point. And he had some really great great lyrics, throughout, the band. I think for this album though, when it comes to the vocal melody stuff that he was writing, it seems fine, but whether he wants to admit it or not, his rap pocket is the most solid stuff. Some of the most solid stuff that he puts out, and I would have liked him to kind of hone into that a little more. Let Emily do the singing. You got your lead vocalist. Let her do the lead vocalist stuff, right? So I would have liked to see that more on this album, because again, I think the last couple of songs, they do lock in. The first half of the album is kind of like, you're inviting someone over and you're not really sure how they are. Their friend invited them, and I think we're all gonna have a fun conversation and get along. That's kind of how the album feels the first half of it, in my opinion. So, but It is not a bad album at all. First, I thought it was short, but comparative to the other albums that Linkin Park has made, it's actually on par. Hybrid 3 was actually like 40 minutes, if we were to compare it to just the greatest stuff that they've made. So, as far as from a minutes perspective and length perspective, it's on par. It's on par with everything else. But yeah, I would say it's a good album. It's not a bad album. I would just like for them to kind of lock in more to kind of create their own sound. The album's called From Zero. Let's really hone in a newish sound. Obviously, they have a lot of interesting, reminiscent Linkin Park things. Even from like the synth keyboardist, there's a lot of different sounds that I heard some stuff that was added from "I've Become So Numb." Oh, numb, I guess. "I've Become So Numb." Just a lot of different sounds from like the earlier stuff that they kind of bring in and bring back, just kind of as a reminiscence. Hey, we're Linkin Park still. They kind of add those things throughout some of these songs. But that's my take. What did you guys think of the album? Have you listened to it yet? Let me know what you think in the comments as far as this. Again, J Powell Music. Catch you guys next video. Thanks a lot.